As 2023 comes to a close, it's time to reflect on the year, and it's been an interesting one for the film industry. Strikes causing film productions to shut down basically everywhere, some surprising breakouts, and then more notably just a metric ton of financial box office failures. Nonetheless, 2023 has brought us some great films which I wanted to list out. A top 10 list, if you might say. Granted, I've not seen every movie, so as much as I've heard about Saltburn being great, and I've not seen Boy and the Heron either, I can't really talk about them here. I've also done reviews for a lot of these, so check out the descriptions if you want to see more detailed thoughts on each one. Right, let's do this. Kicking off with number 10 is a great family film, and there's some definite bias in here for my love of the games, and it's a Super Mario Brothers movie. Not gonna lie, really didn't think Mario and the gang were going to translate all that well into film, yet Nintendo teamed up with Illumination to bring us a bright and colourful kids film, and I do emphasise kids film. The questionable celebrity voice lineup I think did well to represent these beloved characters in a safe yet enjoyable story, and I think most demographics can still really enjoy this. As a fan of the games, I just couldn't help but smile constantly seeing the Mushroom Kingdom being brought to life. Number 9 is one I actually never got to review. I just saw it one night with my mates, not thinking it would be all that much. But The Covenant by Guy Ritchie really surprised me. This buddy-up movie set in Afghanistan between a sergeant and his interpreter had me hooked from the get-go. Jake Gyllenhaal makes what could be generic into something far more intense. Dar Salim, who plays his interpreter, being the first time I've seen him in anything, was an absolute standout, and I'd recommend this for anyone out there looking for a war drama and action. Number 8 is The Whale, which just left me the most broken inside I've ever been. It's an incredible story told by director Darren Aronofsky, and it gave us a much needed return of Brendan Fraser. Just one to stick on if you ever need to bawl your eyes out from the get-go. Considering it takes place in one room, it's never dull, and the performances from everyone make this gripping yet truly difficult to watch, especially as it confronts a difficult topic in conversations, which is obesity. I haven't watched it since it came out in the cinemas, but it's definitely etched a place in me ever since. Number 7's one for the sci-fi lovers this time. This was not one adapted from any pre-existing IP or book, and that's Gareth Edwards' The Creator. On a modest budget, it somehow looks incredible with visual effects that would compete with films of twice its budget. Whilst not wholly unique in story or concept, the execution is clean with fun, unique environments and enough conflict to keep you gripped until the end. Number 6 goes to Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. This could have either gone to, honestly, this or John Wick, and it's just the category for pure action lovers. John Wick 4 lost out on this one purely because Mission Impossible really surprised me with the intensity of the story it was trying to tell this time. An interesting concept of having the AI code be the enemy, with Tom Cruise providing us with breathtaking, butt-clenching stunts that just keep this franchise from ever getting boring. There's a great addition in Hayley Atwell, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Part 2 brings for us. Number 5 is for the fantasy lovers, and may be a debated choice, but I had so much fun with this one, and that's Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves. This was just way better than I ever expected. It had me laughing so many times throughout. Chris Pine as the lead was a great choice, and was mixed together with a cast where each one brought something different to the table, each in their own humorous way. I've revisited this film since, and continue to enjoy it. I really hope we see a sequel in the future, despite it not doing great in the box office. Number 4 is one in the superhero genre, where there weren't honestly many great ones to choose from. However, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, despite this year's superhero fatigue, still manages to rise to the top, proving we're not tired of superhero films, but we're just tired of bad superhero films. It's a great send-off for the crew from James Gunn, in a story combining great humour with a surprisingly gut-punching backstory to make this probably my favourite Guardians film out there. I know there were some side characters that didn't get to shine all that much, and hopefully we see more of them in the future as teased. Not gonna lie, third spot's basically a cheat, and that's because I'm putting down Barbenheimer. Even though they both definitely deserve their own spotlight, as they're both just brilliant in their own way. Greta Gerwig's Barbie was such a fun film with some really important messages, and ended up being a film far more funny and enjoyable than I expected it to be. Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling and the crew absolutely crushed it. On the other side of it, Oppenheimer really resonated with me. It was a biopic I've revisited numerous times already, and for Christopher Nolan to give us a film with no action, 3 hours worth of dialogue, and make it one of the most suspenseful, interesting films of the year, just truly shows how unique this film is. There's numerous Oscar candidates here as well, and outside of that, it's just a huge cast of people crushing it in their roles. Kind of felt like the whole of Hollywood was in these two films, basically. Number 2 is for anime fans out there, and to be fair, this was such a unique and fun story that even those not well versed in anime can probably enjoy this, and that's Comic Studios' Suzume. Having wowed the world with Your Name and Weathering With You, they continue to shine with yet another film with stunning artwork and music, with a fun trio of characters doing just what they can to save Japan. When you have visuals, story and sound all at their best tiers, there's not really much else I can say. It's just one you should definitely check out. Right, okay, we're at numero uno, and it's just up here because it's just flat out my favourite film of the year, no question, and that was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The first was just visually remarkable with a great mesh of these different animations, as well as some great characters, and the sequel just continued to improve on both. Unfortunately, we've heard about the studio pushing the animators to the brink on this one, and that needs to stop. Hopefully with the delays of the third film, those working conditions will change. But honestly, this version of Miles Morales is just up there with some of my favourite superheroes. A really funny story that sideswipes us with a really interesting villain and an epic plot that makes this feel like a true Empire Strikes Back within its own trilogy. I cannot wait for the third to come out. So there you have it, that's my top 10 list I guess. Let me know which ones you agree with and which ones you don't. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. I also just wanted to say a big thank you for all the support I've received this year, and I'm really excited to keep going and giving you more videos going into 2024. So yeah, if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, there's going to be lots more coming, and as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, anime and video games. Until next time guys, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye bye.